Alright, let's just do this so I can never talk about this movie for more than a minute ever again. Cuties. The worst piece of cinema crafted by anything or anyone, really. A movie that got 3% on the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, and it absolutely fucking deserved it. Yet there are still people on the internet who, even now, genuinely think of this as overhated, and they're too stupid to tell the difference between coming of age and child porn. I honestly can't believe that Rotten Tomatoes raped my childhood, and yet they're defending child porn. We'll get into that later, where I give a very short explanation about why it's the worst thing ever, and that at least Winnie the Pooh and Honey and Blood, for all its horrific faults and reasons for being way too graphic and terrible even for me or any actual adult with more than 2 brain cells, didn't normalize the horrific subject matter. If anything glorifies sensitive topics, then it's automatically G-tier garbage and should not be praised. This goes for Blob the Great Rogues Nerd and Jock AU on Undertale and The Last of Us Part 2. I'll talk about those two another time because I have an obligatory need to do so. Like, it has to be done, but for now, this is our topic. To make things worse, there are people still standing by what they said on Twitter because of this movie. Like, I get it, social commentary is necessary, but this is not how you do it. For now, let's just examine and tear apart that one video made by Black Critic Guy. You know the one. It's embarrassing that it only has 41,000 views. But I mean that in a good way, because it doesn't deserve any more views. Watch my content instead. Yeah, it's quantity over quality, but there will be no support for child porn. Ever. Alright, let's get into roasting Black Critic. I defended child porn guy. I'm like the 16th person to do this, but since I want to torture myself and to bite the bullet for other people, I kind of have to. And as a disclaimer, I'm not saying Tony, yes, that's his real name, is a groom or anything. I'm just saying he defended CP. And please don't bully him for that. It's not worth killing someone over defending the movie. It is, however, worth killing someone for being a pedophile. Editor's note, hey guys, it's me, editing GameGan 900. So, you could call this the director's cut or anything. This was going to be a bit shorter, but I decided to extend the runtime, I guess to prove some points.
Alright, let's get this over with.
This may be the hardest review I'll ever make. But it's also the most important review I have to do.
Oh gee, I genuinely wonder why.
And overall, not finding it all that interesting or worth seeing, but a vocal minority of you asked me to see and destroy it!
Don't bring Revenge of the Sith into this, you degenerate! Also, you should have destroyed it, yes. And yes, my microphone quality is kinda bad. I don't even have one.
I gotta say, Cuties was awkward, uncomfortable, downright repulsive in many parts.
If there's one nice thing I'll say for this motherfucker, it's that he actually agreed that it was repulsive.
But also poignant, daring, thoughtful, well executed, and dare I say, the best film I've seen in 2020.
Just die!
It's not that big a deal.
Excuse me. What?
First the masterpiece known as Revenge of the Sith, and now Hell of a Boss? What the hell is wrong with you, dude?
Yes, I honestly mean that.
What?
I understand you'll have a knee-jerk reaction to such a bold statement.
Are you serious, bro? It's not just knee-jerk, it's justified. This is literally CP, and you're still defending it. And also, yeah, congrats knowing that we're gonna be angry about this at least, ha!
Shit, it rubbed me the wrong way when I first saw the poster too.
And it really should have ended there, let's be honest.
What adult in their right mind wouldn't be appalled by such a premise?
Either pedophiles or anyone who has less than 1 brain cell. Yeah, it's not that hard.
And if that was the case, then everyone is right to hate Cuties. But it isn't.
What the fuck?
And therein lies the biggest problem with this backlash. It's based on a lie.
This is nothing like the Star Wars fanbase that have begun to tell themselves a self-told lie that it was Disney that ruined Star Wars, even though it was them, and this whole thing stemmed from 1999. But this
is no lie.
Am I denying that the film has those elements? Absolutely not. They're in there and they are extremely hard to watch.
And any person with a third brain cell would just not watch it, like, ever, okay?
So instead of doing a regular review condemning people for hating the movie without seeing it, or being an out-of-touch critic that scoffs at the mainstream audience for just not getting it, The backlash towards Cuties is entirely Netflix's fault and no one else's.
You shut the fuck up! You shut the fuck up!
This is basically the Netflix equivalent for blaming the person who released it for the hate, but this time, it's actually justified.
With Drive, they made it seem like a high-octane action thriller, when in actuality, it's a slow-burn, introspective drama thriller with some action.
Drive did not sexualize minors. Ooh, I got an even better comparison for that. Cars 2, one of the most underrated movies of all time. But let's be real, even I'm kind of weirded out by the advertising, like, it made it look like it would be about lightning like the first movie, but this is about Mater. Honestly, if the advertising was a bit more honest, I guess people would hate it a lot less. I don't know, that's kind of my biggest problem with this underrated gem. Anyways, back.
Cuties is a coming-of-age story following a young, impressionable girl named Amy.
Just because there's a plot and there's social commentary doesn't mean we should justify this movie's existence, okay? Good.
So yes, while the over-sexualization is in the film, it, one, is not the main focus of the film, that would be Amy.
She's literally a villain protagonist, alright? I'll discuss more later, okay? Or maybe later on, okay? Hello there, everyone. Editing GameGeddon.900 here. I meant to say villain protagonist, but not in a good way. My bad. Stop using social commentary to justify this movie, you dumbass.
Whether you agree with this point, or think it's an excuse, or a way to defend the film from any criticism, the fact is the film is clearly a commentary on how society is today.
Be real with me, people. This is the sort of thing that's going on for, like, years now. Human society is kind of collapsing on itself. Star Wars is getting ruined by the fan base, and they're blaming Disney for everything just because they hated the sequel trilogy. And now this exists. Damn it.
The not-so-obvious one is the state of parenting. In the film, we learn and see the family lives of 3 of the 5 cutie girls. Amy has a mother that is dealing with her own problems and so is not involved in her daughter's life. She has an auntie that is ultra conservative and follows the old ways to the book and really doesn't care to learn about Amy or kind of bond with her or to understand what she's going through. And she has a father that's somewhere else marrying another woman. He's just not there for her in any way, shape, or form in the film. Angelica, Amy's only friend in the film, has parents who are too busy working all the time to spend any quality time with her. And finally, Yasmin, the big girl of the group, has an oblivious mother who's completely unaware of what her daughter and her friends are doing, especially in the house. It's safe to assume that the other 2 girls also have parents that don't bother with what they're doing or aren't around that much. So we have clear examples of parents who are neglectful or absent in their children's lives.
You know how Netflix basically changed the description and ended up making Amy's parents look like the villains of the movie for just neglecting her? Yeah, that sucks. Honestly, if anything, they have the right sense to beat the shit out of her for what she's doing.
They're seeking attention. Since they're not getting attention at the house from their parents,
you can get attention using other methods. For better or for worse. Editing GameGeddon900 here. Moral of the story, don't leak your Discord DMs.
And they'll seek it mainly from their parents. And if they can't get it from their parents, they'll get it from other people. They'll get it from their friends. They'll get it from their principals, their teachers. They're just looking for someone to notice them.
Like I said, you don't have to twerk to get attention.
Children are looking up to celebrities and social influencers rather than their parents or family members. They're learning how to behave and how to act from the media that they are digesting and watching on a daily basis. Now, do not get it twisted, ladies and gentlemen. I am not saying blame celebrities or social media or movies and video games for influencing our kids. I believe artists have every right to express themselves the way they see fit.
You can have celebrities, yes, and you can express in any way your art in any way you want to, but it has to not involve glorifying the subject matter, alright?
Parents should teach their kids what is appropriate and what is not. It's not the media's job to raise your kids, so stop letting them and be more involved in your kids' lives.
I can confirm this because my parents have raised me right. And also, no shit.
The over-sexualization of teens and adolescents is also a very cogent point the film makes.
I mean, you could argue that if at least one of them is a teenager, because there's one of them, at least one that's 13, but still, just no, right? Amy's at least canonically 11. And you also had to censor the damn footage.
And I personally find it weird that everyone is all up in arms and angry about a film that addresses the issue honestly and directly rather than the issue itself.
Look, I'm trying to be more reasonable than most with this, but still, this is not honest, alright?
And yes, I won't deny it was very uncomfortable watching these little girls grinding and twerking and talking about sex.
Anyone with at least 2 brain cells would run far away from this the minute they see it. Or just talk about why it sucks.
But you know what? Sometimes the truth is uncomfortable.
Of course it's uncomfortable, but it doesn't have to sexualize children, alright?
Because there are kids in real life that act this way.
I mean, to be fair, I'd rather watch this review a million times before watching the actual movie. Still, you're right, this sort of thing does happen to real life children. And it's terrible there, and it's terrible here.
Not, I repeat, does not glorify, nor condone, nor approve of the over-sexualization and behavior of the cutie girls.
Are you serious, bro? They basically make it look okay. Like, there's this one scene where they're basically looking at Amy's ass at The Exorcist. I'm not gonna show you the clip because I have too much dignity to do that, alright?
The girls are rude, disgusting, disrespectful, selfish, vain, and self-centered. They treat their friendships as if they were just another accessory for them to hold or wear at any given day. One day, they might be friends with you. The next day, they might not give a damn about you. And then the next day, they might actually care about you again. They use their friendships as a way to gain something. The
only redeeming quality about this video is how he acknowledges that the cutie girls are shit. Also, the only reason we're calling them the cutie girls is because 1, it's the name of the movie, and 2, that's what they call themselves.
They're not portrayed in the most favorable light. The negative impact they had on Amy as a character, who begins the film rather wholesome, maybe a little naive, but a good person. But the moment she starts spending more time with the cutie girls and getting assimilated into their ways, you start to see how she's changing for the worse. She has a bad attitude. She's not taking care of her brother. She doesn't help her mother when she falls down on the ground, clearly exhausted or sick. She just scoffs and is like, whatever, I don't care about you. Or the fact that she stabs a kid in class and pushes a girl into the river and watches her drown, not even helping her. She's lucky that that mysterious buoy pops out of nowhere to save her life. If that didn't, she would have just watched that girl drown and not even help or anything.
Remember when I said that we talk about Amy? Well, here it is. She literally acts like the villain. Like, Like, she literally joins the Cutie Girls out of boredom, and most of the plot revolves around her doing stuff. Editing game getting .900 here. I meant to say that that this entire plot just she does consequential actions, and she mostly gets away with it. I still don't understand how anyone could just blame the Cutie Girls for this. And, like, seriously, her watching that girl drown, she has the same reaction that Luke Skywalker did when his aunt and uncle died in a fire. Not at all. I guess you could say, in a few ways, she's a Mary Sue! Like, I'm one of those Rey defenders, but, like, yeah, Amy is a Mary Sue. Just shut up.
Cuties is also a brilliant deconstruction. Imagine it, if you will, as a visual novel. It has good routes and bad routes. And it really dawned on me that most of the coming-of-age stories that I have seen in theaters or that I've read or learned about, they tend to be overly positive. A kid meets the right group of people or chooses the right path and becomes a better person by the end. Cuties, on the other hand, is a case of taking the bad route.
Hypocritical, because she ends up having a happy ending at the end. So, you want to know what would have made this movie better?
If she suffered at the end, kill her.
It should go without saying, since I've already spent a majority of this video praising it.
And you really should not have, trust me. Why do you still praise this?
For a first-time director and writer, Maimouna Dakure's direction was masterful.
Just die!
Why do you think her direction was masterful? She literally made this. Also, is that how you pronounce her name?
I especially love Fathia Yusuf's performance as Amy. She had the toughest role to pull off, being both sympathetic yet despicable.
Why won't you get it? She is a monster!
There's nothing sympathetic about her, okay? Like, this entire movie would not have happened if she were smart enough to not join that damn dance group, or if the dance group was never even formed to begin with.
I think my brother put it best when I talked to him about this film, when he said that despite all that the film portrayed and showed, it is clearly a work of art.
Just let me end this all! Leave!
I'm sorry, were you and your brother brainwashed into liking this? Or were you just too stupid to understand the truth? Apparently you're too stupid to understand the truth because you've been so legitimate talking about this.
They're supposed to make them question what they just witnessed.
You know what? At this point, I'm done. Normally, I'm okay with people having different opinions from mine, but this is the last straw. This is where I draw the line, okay? I hope you die, Black Critic Guy. I hope your family never sees you again. I hope you never have kids. I hope your legs get torn off or something like that. I hope your brain gets melted just because of how you thought this was okay.
I want every gun we have to fire on that man.
It made me feel a variety of emotions, but at the end of the day, I can't deny that it did something very unique.
The only realistic and logical reaction to this sort of thing is anger and disgust.
Experience it gave me, the lessons it taught me.
I will kill you and won't let you hurt anybody else! You hear me, you little brat? Die! Die!
Whether you agree with that notion or not, the one thing I do want you to take away from this video is that I feel as though the hate for Cuties was completely unwarranted.
No, it really is warranted. Also, you're kind of a hypocrite because you literally said you understood the backlash.
Without giving it a chance to tell its story and to be judged objectively and fairly.
Nah, we're judging it correctly. Fuck you, Tony. Fuck you. And now, the one you've been waiting for.
And strong writing.
And strong writing. And strong writing. And strong writing.
Like, bro, Glitchtail was better at writing than you are, you dumb, stupid little piece
Do
of...
you feel like I'm reaching? Do you think that it's still about over-sexualizing children? Just let me know what you guys have to say, but let's also try to keep it civil down there in the comment section.
Thank God that video was only 20 minutes long. I know I said I'd talk about why I hated Cuties aside from just the child porn, but let's just be honest, it speaks for itself. I don't even want to talk about this for any more than a minute anymore. Let's just end it there. I know people have done this already, and mine's just doing it again, except with Friday Night Funkin' clips, but let's be real. It has to be done. It always has to be done. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope to see you again in the next one. And would you please subscribe? I really need more subs. Thank you. Goodbye for now.